इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Good afternoon, one and all. I, Archana Sharma, on behalf of entire Franchise India team, welcomes each one of you to our digital show. We welcome each one of you to Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series, where our aim is to represent the brand of the day. During this webinar, we'll try to give you the correct and complete understanding about the brand. If I talk about Franchise India is 23 years old company. We are into franchise expansion and we are the business consulting firm. It's been almost 23 years. We are helping all investors in getting the business suggestions, solutions from our side so that they can take a right and the conscious decision of selecting the right franchise for them. We truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped more than 5,000 brands in expanding their business with our 80 plus offices. And we have data of 78,000 investors who got business from our site. With this introduction, may I welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. And during the course of the webinar, they'll be sharing their suggestions, feedback with us so that we take all the decisions correctly. The brand which we are representing today is Funky Collection, the brand which comes from Bombay, and we invite and welcome Karim Bhai, Nadia ma'am, as well as Karishma to talk about this great brand. Karim Bhai started journey in May 1990 for Funky Collection, and Karishma joined his journey 2 years back when she completed her education. Thank you so much, entire family, for joining us today. We are ready for presentation from your side. Over to you, Karishma.
Thank you so much for that great introduction, Archana. Firstly, I like that name, Business Opportunities Over Chai. I hope everybody has their Kadak chais ready with you. I think I'll dive right into it. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. So I think firstly, thank you to everybody who's joined to make time for this presentation. I really hope everyone is doing well, everyone is safe at home. A quick introduction, Archana has covered it all. I am Karishma Khakyani. I am here today to represent our business that goes by the name Funky Collections. That's the registered name of our firm, and our brand goes by the name Funky Fashion Wear and Accessories. That's also the logo that you see on your screen, which is also trademarked now. I have with me, my dad, Karim Khakyani. He is the sole proprietor. He's all the brain and the owner of the business. I also have my mom, Nadia Khakyani, who, like any other woman in the house, is the backbone and support for my dad and our entire business. A little bit about myself. I am a CFA by profession, so I kind of get my financial edge to the business, and I am assisting my dad in the expansion of Funky, and that's the reason all three of us are here with you today. Um, to tell you a little bit about Funky. Now, Funky was established way back in May 1990 as a retail sports merchandise store in Mumbai. And after a few years, we expanded in Pune as well. A little bit about our products. Funky, in the literal sense, like we always call it, is a one-stop shop for all football, basketball, baseball, biking, and other accessories. And there's a specific reason I use the word one-stop shop. Now, there are tons of stores out there that sell only football jerseys or sell only bike helmets or only t-shirts. We are one store that literally sells everything under one roof. If you take football, for example, we have football jerseys, we have football jackets, we have football keychains, towels, bed sheets, caps, car cushions, literally you name it, and we have it all under one roof. And that's kind of the USP of our brand. You know, sometimes I feel like stealing the Lay's tagline, no one can eat just one. Ours should be like, no one can buy just one. Literally, when a biker enters our store, he's not going to just buy a helmet and leave. He's going to eye gloves. He's going to look at biking knee pads. He's going to get dirt bike t-shirts, a hoodie. He's going to buy bandana. So that's kind of the product range that we offer. In fact, when you see our detailed models that the Francorp team will share with you, you'll see that we literally have 100+ products under our brand name, and we are constantly expanding our products under our umbrella. So that's kind of a little bit about our products. To tell you a little bit about the history of our brand. Now, my dad has always had, I would say, this entrepreneurial stride to him. Back in the late 80s, now that is even before I was born, but back then my dad came up with this idea of venturing into something that is long-term, that is solid, and that basically has a future. And that's the reason he thought of venturing into sports merchandise. And he was so positive about the success of this venture because honestly, the craze and the fan following for sports globally, and even specifically in India now, is ever increasing. Now, over a span of 30 years, my dad has very proudly seen his vision become a reality. I honestly often hear my parents say that we now have customers of over 2 generations, and in some cases over 3 generations coming to our store. And they say it with so much pride in their eyes that we have customers of 2-3 generations. It's just a great feeling. 30 years honestly is a long time, and just the duration of the time talks leaps and bounds about the expertise that we have in this business. My dad had this entrepreneurial experience in so many years. He has this supply chain with him over decades, his long lasting customer relationships, and in fact most of his employees also have been with the business since inception, and that's all that accounts for the goodwill. Speaking a little bit about the vision of Funky, we are currently based in Mumbai and Pune, but our vision is to continue to grow our business across the nation, to be a one-stop shop in every state, every city of India, and to focus on providing the same quality and of products to our long-lasting customers at the same affordable prices, and to always put our customer satisfaction first. So that's a little bit about the history of our brand. Moving on to the products. Now, this is a very small glimpse of our product list. We have caps, we have jerseys, we have t-shirts, hoodies. In the biking range, we have biking protective gear such as knee pads, helmets. We have car accessories. There are car seat cushion covers, seat belts. Honestly, the product range just goes on and on. If I had to put it in this presentation, it would probably cover up 10 to 12 slides. But this is a small glimpse of the main products that we have. But literally, when we see a football fan or a bike enthusiast or a music lover enter our store, it's literally like a kid in a candy shop. That's kind of the range of products that we offer to our customers. Speaking about the price range, you'll see that the range on the presentation is from 50 to 5,000. Now the price range is wide because our product range is wide. The 50 rupees items are the small ticket items like keychains and stickers. Then moving to 500, it's more around t-shirts and banners. Then in the 1,000, 1,500 range, you will find jackets and basketball jerseys, baseball jerseys, football jerseys. And then 5,000 is probably the helmets that are the big ticket items. Talking about our customer segment, we mostly focus on youngsters. Like you saw our product range, it's more about sports. So it's mostly young crowd, 15 to 35 crowd who are interested in sports is our main crowd. And the USP is to continue to sell high quality products at low price and to make sure that we are giving every customer equal importance. That's kind of what we focused on for the last 30 years. And that's kind of what has brought us until here. Now, my next slide is called the game changer slide. In the true sense, this step that we took was a game changer for our business. So back in June 2020, that's last year, 9 months ago, we decided to launch an Instagram and Facebook page for our brand. Before I give you more details, I'm just going to let you watch a quick video and then we can move forward. I just hope you can hear my audio. So I'm just going to play it and then mute it for a second to confirm.
Hello, everyone.
Is the audio audible to everybody?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
okay,
you.
Great. Okay, I'll let you watch the video.
Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well and are safe at home with your families.
I, Karim Kakyani, owner of Funky Collection, along with my wife and 2 kids, are taking Funky business online.
We have started this initiative to ensure that you get your favorite football, bike, and other accessories at your doorstep so that you have your full safety in this pandemic situation.
Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook for more details about our shop timing and availability. Stay safe.
So honestly, literally, that was about it. We launched with this video back in June and we haven't looked back since then. We were honestly pleasantly surprised. We knew that our products had a lot of fan following in Maharashtra, but the response that we received from going online has been incredible. Literally from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I would say there has been no area that we haven't made deliveries to. In the last 6 to 9 months, we have thousands of followers on Instagram. That's a snip of our Instagram page. And the feedback from customers has been unbelievable. The quality of the products, the product range, the uniqueness of our products, the consistency in the quality that we deliver, the professionalism in the way that we deal with our customers, our price points, quick deliveries. Literally, we met all the checkpoints. We are making dispatches every single day all over India, and it's been amazing. I mean, the trust that we've gained in customers that are completely new, who've never met us, who've never seen us, that's kind of what's unbelievable. Literally customers, I mean, we have chats where customers are begging us to start a store in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in Delhi, in Punjab, in Gujarat. In fact, even from Northeast and Assam, they're like, you have no idea what the craze is in those parts. And literally going online and seeing the kind of response that we got, that's when we realized the power of our brand and our products and our goodwill of so many years. And that's when we approached Franchise India, since we knew and we were so damn positive that this is a lucrative business opportunity. And if it's done wonders in the last 30 years in Maharashtra, it can do wonders all over India. I mean, if that was the response that we got from going online, the impact of having a physical store where you can actually touch and feel the products, that's a completely different ball game. So yeah, I would honestly encourage everyone on this presentation to go to our Instagram and Funky Facebook page. Our Instagram page is called funky_fashionwear and our Facebook page is called Funky Collections. You can see our product ranges, see the customer responses, see the feedback, and you'll kind of get an idea about our success story. In terms of the rollout strategy, and this strategy is kind of based on the response that we've seen from going online, and is also based on FranCorp study of the industry and the market. In phase 1, we are focusing on the top 10 states. Even from going online, we've seen that the response from Kerala, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. have been incredible. So those are the markets we are focusing on first, and then we go to the tier 2 states, and then we expand in the under-penetrated states in phase 3 as well. So that's kind of a rough rollout strategy, but we are open to everything and open to discussing with our potential investors. In terms of what we are looking for in a franchise partner, now we are obviously giving away, we're not giving it away, but we are also sharing our brand name and our goodwill of over 3 years, over 3 decades now, to the franchisee. So we honestly need someone who has the zest to stay involved in the business. So that's kind of what is important to us. So the franchise partner needs to be willing to personally manage the business, treat it as his own. We are looking for professionals from the sports and retail similar industry, entrepreneurs who have a passion for retail, or investors who are looking for a lucrative business opportunities. That's what we are looking for in our potential franchise partner. Speaking about what we would do as a franchisor, now, of course, we've done it for 30 years. So we will be the backbone and support for the relationship. It will be a close partnership. We will support in terms of location selection, in terms of staff training, inventory and process management, advertising, marketing, PR coverage, selection, everything. So, the franchise partner will have full support from us in terms of the decisions that need to be made in the business. So it will be 100% partnership. And finally, talking a little bit about numbers. Now, in terms of franchise plan, we've kind of laid out 2 options. Now, you'll see that there's a smaller option and a larger option on the screen. We've done that because we've kind of seen both the options are successful. Our Mumbai store is kind of smaller in size. The Pune store is bigger in terms of the square feet. So we've laid out 2 options. In terms of area, carpet, small one is 360 square feet and large one is 600. In terms of the overall investment, the total setup cost for the smaller one is around 17 lakhs and the bigger model is around 30 lakhs. You'll see the ROI and the payback period differs in terms of the investment. So in the smaller option, the ROI is 40%, but in the larger one, it's 62%. That's the average over 5 years. And then the payback period in the small version is nearly 3 years. And then in the larger version is 2 years. Now, of course, these are only examples. You'll see that the fact that we've put in 2 options is that we are open. It will obviously differ in terms of where we end up opening the franchise, what the square feet of the area is. So those potentials can be discussed, but that's kind of the estimate that that the potential franchisor will get an idea of the initial investment. And yeah, the franchise team, FranCorp team, will obviously share more detailed financial models with everybody who's interested, and then you can go through the nitty-gritties of the model. But yeah, this will kind of give you a ballpark image. And yeah, that's kind of about it for our introduction and our background and our history. We are happy to take any questions. My dad's on the line as well. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that our potential investors might have. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karishma. Thank you so much, Kareem. Hi. And just to add on what Karishma also talked about, this industry, which is sports merchandise industry, this is becoming one of the most organized and sports being one of the fastest growing categories worldwide and also in India. We are seeing a big spurt in growth, especially in the sport entertainment industry, which is called sport entertainment. And especially in a country like India, where cricket is a religion, and we also have some of the popular sports which are played by people. We see a lot of youth which are embracing this merchandise. We're happy to see the growth and also the kind of merchandise mix that we have under the umbrella of Funky Collection. So Grishma, I'll start maybe with the business model itself. We have talked about 2 models, which is 360 square feet and 600 square feet, with an overall investment that would start from 17 lakhs and go up to 30 lakhs for a bigger model.
Yeah.
And while I did see in the presentation, we had a franchise fee component that was more for a smaller format and less for a bigger format. Is that
by mistake, or
I don't think that's the case. Yeah, that might just be by mistake. It's kind of the opposite. And actually, one thing that I should add is that the franchise fee that we scale, so the smaller format is 4 lakhs and the bigger format is 5 lakhs. That's how it should be. But you will also see, when you see our detailed model, you'll see that we've not done it as an initial investment. Like I said, we want to partner with our potential investor. So what we've done is that there's a small 2.5 lakh component of initial franchise fee, and then we have 1.5 lakh after end of year 1, and another 1.5 lakh based on what model we select after year 2. So it's not that the 4 lakhs or the 5 lakhs needs to be made immediately. It's kind of made over a period of 3 years, because we understand that the initial payment, making it initially and having that trust initially, though we have complete trust in our brand, but someone who's new, it might be difficult to make that initial investment. That's why we've kind of triggered it over 2 to 3 years, so that when you actually see the results of the business in the first year, then you get that confidence, and then accordingly the later half of the fee is in the first and second year. So yeah, it's ballpark, it's 4 lakhs in the small model and 5 lakhs in the big model.
That would reduce it by a lakh, which would become 16, and that would be 31 is what you
no, the numbers are no, I think no, it still remains at 17 and 30. It's just the models are, the values are interchanged, but it remains at, of course, it's a ballpark. Honestly, it includes a lot of, you know, the investment cost, advertising cost. I mean, that will vary by each. So once we start talking to our potential investors, those amounts will obviously vary.
Before I come now, again, you know, I do see some questions coming from the audience, and friends, I would request, if you have any questions, keep asking in the Q&A box and we'll take it up. And also please mention which city that you're interested to take up the franchise. So Karishma, just to, you know, maybe make our audience understand, if you could also maybe talk a little bit on the overall competitive landscape, you know, which is the competition around, and, you know, how we as Funky Collection would have maybe a competitive edge against the competition which today is present in the market. I think that's something which is very important for everybody to understand. Correct. And if you can maybe spend a few minutes maybe talking on that.
Sure. So honestly, like I said, like the USP of our brand has been the diverse products that we have, but a very important USP has also been that we've, touchwood, have monopoly over these products. I wouldn't say there's no competition. Honestly, when Dad started 30 years ago, we were kind of the only ones in the market, but there were also instances where we had a very similar store where selling cheaper goods, but not the same quality, you know. So obviously my dad has always focused on quality. So we've seen competition, but I think we've gotten lucky in terms of my dad getting into the market since 30 years. So even the competitors who are kind of there are sometimes come and purchase goods from us and sell it at a higher price somewhere else, you know, because we've also made sure that our price points are good. So I would not say that there's no competition. There surely is competition, but I would for sure and proudly say that we are on top of that competition, because we've kind of been in the market for very, very long. So it's luckily the time frame and the duration that we've been there for, it's kind of played to our advantage. So that's surely been there. So my dad kind of, like, everybody will know Karim Khakyani in the market and knows that Karim Khakyani has Funky. When I was in college, when my guy friends used to ask me, oh, Funky is yours, and you know, like, it used to be like, oh wow, my dad also used to go to Funky and now I'm going to Funky. So I think that duration has just helped us completely, and that kind of helps ease the competition, not erase it, but at least ease the competition. Yes.
Okay. And now, you know, because it has all been almost about 30 odd years, 3 decades in the business, how you've seen the business evolving or, you know, moving maybe to a new dynamics? What is the demand that you see coming now versus what we used to get maybe a 10-year back? And which are the fast moving categories where you see the demand today coming in?
Perfect. I'll say something on this, but Dad, you can add, only because I was not there when the business started. But I know that I think the good part about Funky is that my dad has always been open to evolving the kind of products that we have and increasing the kind of products we have. Honestly, when we started, it was more about football goods and football accessories. But what we've seen is that generally in the competition, that is very common. I mean, honestly, if you go on Hill Road and Linking Road also, you will find people selling it on the Bakra also, you know. So that way, that those products kind of become common. So in fact, this is more of a recent thing. Now what we've started doing is we've started adding baseball jerseys and basketball jerseys. So NBA and MLA, all those which are not very, which are popular amongst the creme de la creme of crowd. So it's not that everybody follows basketball or baseball. So it's the few people who follow, but it's also the people who know that you don't get these products anywhere else, you know. So those category of products become for a smaller audience, but it's also for the audience who we know are only going to purchase from us and don't have any other source of purchasing from anyone else. So that's kind of the evolution history. We've kind of evolved in terms of seeing what the categories are. Honestly, sometimes it happens that a customer will say, purchase a product and they will be like, oh, you know, you should consider adding this to your product range. And we've always been open to that, you know. My dad has either explored that option of purchasing that product, keeping that product, or he knows that whether it's going to be viable or no. So I think we've kind of been open to always expanding the umbrella of our products. So the evolution has surely been there since 30 years. Dad, if you want, you can unmute and add something, maybe how we started in terms of when we started 30 years ago, what were the products then and the range that we have now.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, Karim, we can.
So we started with caps and all that, and we have variety in metal t-shirts, rock band t-shirts and all that. So youngsters, the college going crowd and music lovers, they love our store. So people from all over Delhi, Bangalore, when they visit Mumbai, they come to our store and especially buy 8 to 10 t-shirts and caps and all that. So we have bandanas since the inception, like since 30 years. So all the Punjabis, they wear bandanas, bandana caps, and then one-pitch caps and all that. So we have a customer base right from the father to son.
Oh, there's something that I want to add to this, because I used to be very proud telling my friends, Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan used to buy bandanas and caps from our store. Not when they were not so popular, but I remember my dad saying, oh, Salman Khan wo movie mein the bandana he wore, that was from us, and the cap he wore, that was from us. So I used to be very proud of saying that. They were not very popular then, but still, I still use that statement that they used to come to our store. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Karim bhai. And you know, I'll also take some questions from the audience. Karishma, I'll maybe club these questions with some I want to ask and some which are asked also put in by the audience. And friends, I see you raising hands. We'll not be able to unmute anyone in this session. So I will request you can put your Q&A in the box and we'll take it up with your names. Mention your cities, like I mentioned, you know, before. It will help us in advising you better which locations are important for us to get into. Because we're coming on the business model, you know, first and foremost, we talked about, you know, the infrastructure inventory. So infrastructure typically would be the interiors that are involved, where the franchisee would get the entire I would say the specifications, and he would execute that at his level. The second part of the investment is your inventory, you know. So I want to understand one, you know, what is the kind of SKUs that we give in a store, one. And second, what is the number of SKUs, one. And second, what is the category mix that we provide to our partner?
Okay. So I mean, in terms of the breakdown of cost, inventory will be the main cost. I mean, in retail, it has to be fast moving, right? So for a store to work, the store kind of needs to be full with inventory. So if I see the small model, the inventory out of the 17 lakhs, 10 lakhs is of inventory. And in the big model, out of the 30 lakhs, 19.5, close to 20 lakhs is for inventory. So it's mostly most of the component, 70, 80, 90% of the component is on the initial stock itself. And that's kind of the inventory support that we have. And in fact, to add to something, we kind of, we have a go down in Pune and we have a go down in Bhiwandi as well. So my dad keeps saying that I'm ready to start 4 stores tomorrow. That's the kind of stock that we already have. So in terms of the stock available and in terms of the capital available, we are ready with that initial stock. I think there was one of the questions that will you provide the initial stock? Yes, it will be us who will provide you with the initial stock, because we kind of have our product chains, we kind of have our supply chains. My dad knows all the buyers from all over the world, and that's how he kind of has his relationship. So the initial stock will be provided by us, and it's kind of ready as well, is what my dad keeps saying all the time.
Sure. And you know, on the again, you know, the inventory mix, typically what is the inventory mix we would look at the store?
It
And
would
also when we
yeah.
talk about, yeah, go ahead and ask me.
So honestly, we would be open to a discussion with the potential franchisor in terms of what's the inventory mix they are looking at. If we are to decide, like I said, we have 100 plus products and we are happy with having all the 100 plus products available to the franchisor. We don't want it to be like, oh, we are going to keep the cream products and someone gets that. So it's not going to be that. All the products that are at our stores, all the products will be available to the potential franchisors as well. Like I said, there are biking accessories, there are football, NBA, NFL, music stuff. So everything, all the range of products will be available. Of course, we will share our expertise in terms of what the fast moving products are. So I think Sonia ma'am, you also asked that question. So in terms of fast moving products, it kind of depends. If there's a football league coming up, match coming up, so it's the football jerseys. There are new launches, so it's the jerseys that time. Sometimes it's the biking caps, you know, in winters, it's more of the hoodies, sweatshirts. So it's the time to time, mostly because our products are all season. It's very rare that, you know, there's a season for something, but of course, in terms of football, closer to a match, it's kind of more. So we will help the franchisor and we will tell the franchisor that, you know, these are the hot selling ones. So maybe you have more of this stock. This is a little bit slow moving, you know, say something like small bags or something that might not be so common. So that's slow moving. Maybe you can take some less of the stock, but we are open with having our entire range of products available to the potential franchisor. Yes.
Okay. And now, you know, again, on the inventory side, you know, is there a credit period given, you know, when there's a stock which needs to be replenished one? And is it also, you know, what is the model? Is it consignment model that you offer? Is it sale or return? You know, this is a stock against which you keep some security in offer. So what is the initial model? Are they giving outright to you, or do you give it on a consignment basis?
So again, that's when we look at our legal agreement, those are terms and conditions that will be decided. Mostly it's going to be like an outright potential, but again, we also understand that the potential investor will be new to the business, so might not know whether one category of product will work or won't work. So we also are open to having that option of, we'll obviously decide the terms, but say if X category of product doesn't sell for the first 6 months, then we are happy to buy back or something like that. So obviously, like I said, it is going to be a relationship. It is something that we want it to work as well. So we will have that buyback potential in terms of if something's not working, we are here for you and we are here to have your back, and we will work it out together. So that's kind of the model that will happen. As the initial one, it will be an initial inventory sale to the potential investor. But of course, we can, if there's a credit period needed or all those, we can obviously decide the terms accordingly once we have more conversations with our investors.
And typically, what are the margins that we are offering? You know, at what margins is the franchisee getting the products? And I'm sure, you know, because we have a lot of SKUs and categories in the store, and each would have maybe a different kind of margin structure. But if we take maybe an average, and if you can give example of different margins that we might have on products and overall blended margins that you would have.
Correct. So our blended margin, and when you see our model, you'll see it comes to around 28%. Most of our products are at a 30% margin. The only product that's not so much at a high margin is helmets, because helmets are the domestic products, so they have an MRP. So say the brand of helmets that we are selling, so on that one, the maximum margin that's available is 15%. So that's the reason it kind of skews down the overall margin. But 95% of our products have 30%. So this is the margin I'm talking about, we offering to the potential franchisor. So we are happy to offer a 30% margin, and helmets will have 15% margin. If you're looking at what we have around 8 to 10% margin over and above that. So on our products currently, we have 40% margin or 38% margin, and on helmets we have an 18% to 20% margin, and we are happy to shell out 15% out of the 18% on helmets, and on the other products out of 40%, happy to sell out 30%.
Okay, that's very helpful. And when we talk about maybe a potential throughput of a store, you know, a 360 square feet versus a 600 square feet store, So what would be your maybe assumptions of a throughput while you've been running this store for many years in the past? But if you assume a new location comes up and a new partner comes up, I'm sure we do some location understanding of the demographics and the potential of that location. But just to have some assumptions on throughput, what is an ideal throughput of a store on the revenue side of the business projections?
That you want to add to that? I can say a little bit about the revenues and the forecast that we have, and you'll of course see it in our franchise model as well. So if I look at the high model, the large model, we are, I think the revenues start at 15%. I mean, the growth is at 15% per annum. What the forecast is that the revenue growth, the percentage obviously decreases year on year, but the absolute amount increases. So that's kind of how every business model would work. So when you're a new store, I think the revenue percent that's in our model for the first year, there's a 15% growth, followed by a 12% growth, followed by a 10% growth. But if we see in absolute numbers, it's kind of the first year. If I can give you figures in terms of the large model, the first year sales that we're expecting is about 11 lakhs, continuing to 13 lakhs, continuing to 15 lakhs, 16 lakhs, etc. So the absolute amount kind of keeps growing. And then at an average of 30% is your revenues, the net profit that comes to the investors. Yes.
All right. And I'm also seeing some questions, and I'll take this up. We have a question from Mr. Manas Agarwal. He's from Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. He says, my question is, in a tier 3 city like Bhopal, where the craze of NBA, NFL, football is comparatively lesser than cricket, how viable do you think the model would be? And also, as far as products are concerned at the store, since you mentioned everything is provided by you, because being a brand, he's also asking to something I can keep on my own. While that's not a possibility, Manas, you cannot keep anything by yourself. All the supply chain would be handled by the company, and they would decide what needs to be kept at the store, while you can decide what kind of categories move. So Karishma, over to you for the answer.
Correct. So Manas, thanks for that question. I would say because we are a partnership, we would be open to your suggestions for sure. So it wouldn't be like we are keeping 75% of the goods and you can decide and keep the 25%. What would happen is that you and we would have a conversation, and if you think that an X category of product is working well in your targeted city, then we are open to exploring as well. Over the last 30 years also, my dad has always explored. He's always seen what the demand is. So in a city like Bhopal, where you think that NBA demand would not be more, and we kind of agree to that as well, we would be happy to work with you and then to decide what is that, what we think that the target audience there would be able to do. But of course, it would be going back to our supply chain and also seeing whether that's possible, because it's also very important for us to, because it's a brand name and it's a goodwill. We can't really go to a completely new supplier and just start purchasing products from someone who we've not tried and tested, because it's also a brand that is at stake, and then we don't want customers coming back to us complaining that the quality is not good and all of that, because there's a lot at stake here. So but of course we would be totally open to that, and that's why when I showed you our progress plan as well, it was the tier 3 cities were later on, because we completely agree that the sports craze there is kind of less than the others. But having said that, like we said, our product range is also wide. So the football craze might not be so much, but then we have biking accessories, we have a lot more. So accordingly, our product dynamics that we end up selecting in a place like Bhopal would also be different.
Absolutely. And we have a question from Mr. Dr. Anand. He says, which are the important or the target cities that you wish to enter?
So it would be, again, from experience from going online, it would be the tier 1 cities. We've listed down the top 10 states, but those are the tier 1 states for sure. So it's not that we aren't hellbound on some specific city. We are open to exploring. In fact, what we are thinking is maybe we explore more out of Maharashtra, and that's the feedback we've given to FranCop as well, because I think we are quite popular in Maharashtra. So even before we went online, actually, when we officially started delivering all over India, when we had a few customers used to travel and come to our store, we were anyway delivering to them. So for Maharashtra, it's kind of easier for us to do those deliveries. So we are actually focusing on all over India. India. I mean, of course, we are open to in Maharashtra as well, but we kind of think that the demand outside Maharashtra will kind of be way more. So we do have a targeted list where we are looking in terms of states. We are looking at Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Karnataka. But of course, those we even while going online, that's what I was saying. So we never thought that the demand from Northeast or Assam would be so bad, would be so amazing, In fact, initially we were having, because we kind of started during the lockdown, it was so difficult sometimes for us to even make the deliveries to Assam, because none of the third party suppliers were like, oh, we can't deliver to Assam. But the craze in Assam and in Northeast was just incredible. So yes, we are happy all over India.
Okay, but Bombay you mentioned because you're already running some stores, so Bombay
Correct.
would
again, if there's a potential investor, I mean, maybe there's one in Navi Mumbai, where we don't have a store. So, I mean, of course, if a store needs to be open in Bombay, we are more than happy, but it's just that it kind of is like cannibalization, then you kind of have a store very close by. So we don't want a potential investor also to be at a loss only because we have another store. So if someone's staying, I don't know, staying at the other, they will prefer to come to Bandra instead of going to a store which is in Borivali or something, so it would just totally open for that. Maybe it's even a benefit because there is a store Funky in Mumbai. So it's probably easier for customers to have another store somewhere else in Mumbai itself. So yes, totally open to that as well.
And since you mentioned you already have a lot of online orders which are being fulfilled directly by the company. When a franchisee comes in, for example, maybe a place where you are not there and you currently are fulfilling the demand online, will that be passed on as far as fulfillment of the order is concerned? Will that be passed on to the franchisee in that location?
So here's the thing. So I'll give you an example of what happens. So if we are in Mumbai and if we are operating online and we get an order from somewhere in Pune, even before taking the order, we tell the customer, oh, sir, we are more than happy to deliver it to your doorsteps, but it will probably be 4 to 6 working days. We have a store in Pune. You can go and purchase from that store as well. So that's exactly the trend that we will follow when we have our franchisees. The caveat there is that the online side of the business will be with us. So it won't be like, suppose we are opening a store in Delhi. So our first statement will be that, sir, we have a store here in Delhi and you're from Delhi, maybe you can visit the store, and that's something that we'll do for sure. But the franchise investor in Delhi will not be able to sell something online. So the online rights will be with us, but we will make sure that our customers are actually going to the doorstep of the franchisor. Of course, it's a benefit for us, right? Because online he's going to purchase one product, but if you actually go to the store, he'll actually kind of get to look and feel at the product. So it's going to be a win-win for sure. But with that caveat that the franchisee that opens in Delhi will not be able to sell something online. It will just be that retail store franchise.
Sure. I will also take a question which has come from Mr. Deepak Taneja. He wants to know if they start, for example, today, how much time would it take for them to start a showroom? When
tomorrow,
he starts, maybe signs up, what is gestation time after he maybe finalizes a location, which is important too?
When I ask my dad this question, he says tomorrow. Trust me. So I know it's not possible, but literally in terms of generally what happens is the inventory is the main issue. Like we said, we have that inventory and we have that capital ready. So in terms of starting a store, Papa, if you want, you can add, but I would say 15 days to a month is completely possible. Of course, once the store location is decided, etc. But in terms of generally the process that takes time in terms of making the inventory available, that is not an issue at all. So it can be a very, 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 very quick process to start a new store. Dad, do you want to add anything to that?
So basic requirement is an infrastructure. So all the signage and all that computerization and everything has to be done. That will take some time, some painting and some interior work has to be done. So within a month, we can go ahead once the agreement and everything is over. We can start in a month's time. 1 to 30 to 45 days is the maximum time that we can start with.
Correct. So, also in terms of maybe,
I would say, Yeah, go ahead.
Correct. I think just one thing to add in terms of the infrastructure as well, and going back to the layout. So you would have seen that there's an infrastructure cost that's probably a couple of lakhs. But again, that would also differ if it's an owned store versus a rented store. So if it's a rented store, accordingly there'll be a rent component that goes in the P&L. But if it's an owned store, that component wouldn't come. So accordingly, the financials, I mean, the return would be higher if that person already owns a store, because the month-on-month rental income, a rental expense, which is kind of the most important expense, will not be there. So if there's anybody who has a store ready and is only looking for a potential an opportunity, that's a different model that we can work on, because the financials in that model, the returns in that model will be higher than one which is rented. Because I think our model currently is based on someone who would have to rent out a property, but the dynamics would change if it's an owned property.
Absolutely. Now we also maybe touch upon the marketing, and we also have Mr. Rahul Ahir wanting to know, how does one go about brand promotion, and at the time of launch or ongoing, is there some participation also from the company which happens? And what exactly would be the obligation or involvement or investment from a partner in these activities?
Correct. So the 17 lakhs and the 30 lakhs, going back to that cost that we spoke about, that also has a component of the initial brand advertising. So you won't have to shell out money over and above your initial investment. The initial brand marketing is involved. Of course, the FranCorp team will also be involved. We will obviously be involved because in terms of the approvals and in terms of the funky logo and the trademark and all of that, those materials you'll obviously get with us. It will be a discussion, and the initial investment will be made, and the FranCorp team will also be available. In terms of the overall marketing responsibility as a whole goes on the potential franchise investor who we have, but we will be completely involved in terms of making the decisions with you, giving our suggestions, telling you what we have experienced in the past about marketing, and there's no additional cost because it's included in the initial cost.
Okay, helpful. And now I'll take maybe I think I'm reading some questions. We've kind of read and answered many of them. Some of the investors would also like to see maybe picture of the showroom. If we have any handy picture, we can show that.
We'd be more than happy to circulate those after this call. Sure. If Sonia ma'am, if we can get the numbers of the initial investors, or my dad can give his number and we can circulate pictures. In fact, you can find us on Just Dial as well and Google Maps as well. So Just Dial has our pictures as well, but we'd be more than happy to share our pictures as well. Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much, Karishma. And friends, I will also request, we have taken down all your emails, questions, and we've tried to answer. And a lot of you are asking for maybe some more information on the business model, and that needs to be emailed to you. Our teams will reach out to you in the next, I would say, in 2 to 3 days' time, and we'll send the entire information as is needed by you. Yeah. And what we'll also do is we'll also set up a time with Karishma and Kareem Bhai, maybe sometime in the coming week, where we can get you also on a one-on-one call with them to discuss on the business model, maybe the SKU categories, price points, your cities, locations, or even properties if you own these properties, and if you can run maybe business on these properties. And Karishma, would you want to suggest a date that we can bring these calls to you? And I feel that will be more productive calls if we can do one by one with every keen prospect who wants to have a discussion. So any specific date in the coming week that you think this would be available?
Sonia ma'am, more than happy at any time when our potential investors are ready. If we have a couple of hours of notice, we are happy to get on a call. Totally appreciate there might be more questions that might not come over here. So more than happy to take one-on-one calls. So no specific date, even if it's a Sunday, all open.
Great. I think that's very flexible and nice of you, Karishma. And friends, just for the sake of, because we need to still keep a date, we can keep it maybe for 31st. Monday is a holy, and so 31st can be a date. And if anybody wants to, maybe you can get in touch before 31st. We'll reach out to you and maybe get you on a call. So 31st is Wednesday, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 days from today. Missing one day in between holy. So this is the time that we might also need to maybe reach out to all of you. But we'll take all the inquiries which have come in the Q&A box on a priority, and maybe prefix the meetings much in advance. And so you can also reach out. We have one of the questions I'll take, Karishma, last is from Mr. Shivanand. He says, I'm an industrialist. Shall I start for my family? Is it okay if I want to start a business for my family? And maybe you can talk about the involvement of a partner also, what kind of involvement of a partner is needed in the business.
Correct. So honestly, we are working as a family. Of course, it is a sole proprietorship, but we kind of get our different edges from different parts of the family. So it surely is something that can be started as a partnership for sure, and as a family business. So yes, 100% yes.
Great. Thank you so much. And before we close, Karishma, I'll request if there's any message that you want to give, any last word that you want to maybe, pass on to the audience, which is listening both live and have come on the webinar today. And Karim Bhai, I'll also request if I think we've lost the connection with him. Karishma, any last word?
Good timing on losing the connection though. So no, I think it's just a big thank you. I think from the fact that we are getting so many questions, it's great. So I'm very thankful to everybody who took time to attend this seminar, and like we said, we'd be more than happy to take more questions. Sonia ma'am, if what we could do is, before we have the discovery day on the 31st, if we can actually circulate our models and our marketing documents so that our potential investors have all those details available before, so they have more detailed questions. So we'd be more than happy to take those.
Sure. I think what we'll do is, after this, everybody who's come in or even registered or could not attend, we'll send an email to everybody with the details of the business model, and we'll start fixing your appointment calls for the coming week. Great. Karim bhai, we lost you in between. I think your connection was weak. Since you're back, I wanted to request if there's something that you want to maybe talk as a last word to the audience who's listening to you.
Yeah, so we are open with any questions and any queries is there. We are there with the investors, and we are there for the 5 to 10 years, not for 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah, it's a longer term.
Yeah, so we are there in a longer term. Yeah, so we are there in a longer term. It is not that we have to make a fast buck and finish it off. Yeah. So we have a long-term relationship with the investor as we have with our customers. So that's what we need.
Absolutely, Karim bhai. And, I will also add Funky Collection. They have a long-standing, I would say, history of trust and credibility, and also respect in the market. So any one of you in Bombay around who even want to visit the existing store outlet, want to experience the product, feel, touch, is also most welcome to do that. While for everybody else who outside Bombay cannot visit, we like to take all the calls, maybe on a Zoom or maybe on a telephonic discussion. But I would still urge, because if you are moving ahead and you want to seriously contemplate any business opportunity, I always advise our investors that you should always go meet the people that you want to work. And equally, from the brand side, they want to know you more closely, because it's a relationship which continues for a long time. Then just, in our discussion that might have happened. So get comfortable with that relationship, go and take time and meet the stakeholders in the business, both sides, to make a decision which is informed and well thought through. So thank you so much, Karishma, and thank you so much, Karim bhai, once again for coming in. And thank you,
thank you, friends.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you guys for organizing, and thanks to our potential investors.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Karim bhai. Thank you so much, Nadia ma'am. Thank you so much, Karishma, for joining us. Please accept our sincere thanks. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for sparing time and sharing all the details with our investors. Dear friends who have joined us today, we really want to come back to you for more and more queries. Please do register. Please do save our business hotline number, which is 9717683838. The entire team of Franchise India is there to support you, so that you take a conscious and informed decision of your life. Please do connect with us at the different social handles, information on your screen. You can also join us Facebook page of Franchise India Brands Limited. Go under video section so that you can see all the previously done webinar. Do share your suggestions and feedback. We'll definitely would love to receive them from you. Also join Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their respective LinkedIn IDs, information on your screen. And tomorrow we invite you for different opportunities under facility management, disinfection, and sanitation. Every Saturday, our objective is to present top business opportunity under one particular vertical. And tomorrow we invite you to do registration, where you can get an opportunity to meet top 5 service brands. So please do registration today at the same business hotline number so that you can join us tomorrow for this great opportunity. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.